So you're looking for a dog trainer here in Carrollton, Georgia, and maybe you're not sure where to start. Well, that's what this is all about. We're going to break down how to choose a professional who really gets our local lifestyle so you and your dog can get out and enjoy everything this town has to offer. Here's a quick look at what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why training here is a little unique. Then, what actually makes a trainer great. We'll get into the different options and what they cost. We'll also cover the local laws you need to know and wrap up with the exact questions you should ask to find your perfect match. Okay, first up, let's think about training for your actual life in Carrollton. We want our dogs to be a part of the community, right? Whether that's a walk near the university, a visit to Adamson Square, or, of course, a trip down the Greenbelt. And that's really the whole point, isn't it? The goal is to have a dog who can handle all that. One who can walk past other people and dogs on the Greenbelt without pulling, who isn't fazed by all the activity, and who can just be a polite, happy member of the community. All right, so how do you find someone who can help you get there? How do you spot a really great trainer? Well, it all starts with understanding their methods and their qualifications. Honestly, this is probably the most important piece of the puzzle. The method you want to hear about is positive reinforcement. It's really the modern, science-backed way to do things. Instead of punishing mistakes, you're rewarding the good choices your dog makes. This builds an incredible bond of trust and makes training fun for them, which means they learn way faster. Now, I know this looks like a bunch of random letters, but these certifications really do matter. For general manners and obedience, a CPDTK or KPA-CTP is a fantastic sign of a well-educated trainer. If you're dealing with more serious stuff like deep-seated fear or reactivity, you'll want to look for someone with a CBC-CK or IABC-CBD-C. Those show they have specialized knowledge in dog behavior. And on the other side of that coin, there are some major red flags to watch out for. If a trainer starts talking about being the alpha or using dominance, or if they recommend tools like choke chains or shock collars to correct your dog, that's your cue to walk away. These old-school methods can often make behavior problems even worse. Let's get into the practical side of things. What are your actual options for training, and what should you expect to budget for it here in the Carrollton area? So you've basically got two main paths. Group classes are awesome for learning to listen around distractions, like other dogs and people. Then you have private one-on-one sessions, which are perfect for zeroing in on specific problems that happen right in your own home, like barking at the mailman or jumping on visitors. And here's a look at what those options typically cost right here in Carrollton. You can see a 6-week group class is pretty affordable. As you move into more personalized or intensive options, like a board and train where your dog lives with the trainer, the investment goes up quite a bit. This should give you a good ballpark for your budget. Okay, all this training is great, but it has to work in the real world, right? Part of being a responsible dog owner in Carrollton is just knowing the local rules of the road, and of course, knowing the best places to go practice all those new skills. These are the top 3 things every single dog owner here needs to know. First, your dog has to be on a leash anytime you're off your property, unless you're in a designated off-leash park. Second, that little rabies tag on their collar, that's required by state law. And third, keeping barking under control is just part of being a good neighbor. And when you're ready to practice, we have some amazing local spots. The Greenbelt is an obvious one. It's perfect for working on loose leash walking with real-world distractions. For off-leash work, Oak Mountain Dog Park is a safe, fenced-in spot to practice recall. And John H. Burson Park gives you tons of open space to work on commands from a distance. Okay, so you've done your research, you know what to look for, and you've probably got a short list of trainers. Now it's time for the final step, the interview. This is how you'll make your choice. This is where you really take charge. You're about to make a big decision, so let's make sure you walk into that conversation feeling totally prepared. You can think of this slide as your interview script. First thing, ask about their philosophy, to make sure it's all positive. Then ask about certifications. You want to know if they can create a plan specifically for your dog's needs, not just a cookie-cutter program. And if you're dealing with a bigger behavior issue, asking if they'll collaborate with your vet is a huge indicator of a true professional. At the end of the day, finding that right partner is the first and most important step you can take. It's what leads to those peaceful walks on the Greenbelt and way less chaos when someone knocks on your front door. It truly makes all the difference. We wish you the very best of luck on your training journey together.